Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Mike. So for today's cast, basically, we're gonna cover different video games and microtransactions. It's a really big issue. It seems like lately the new Star Wars game coming out and all the other games coming out, just microtransactions everywhere, and it's getting kind of ridiculous. Um, some of these transactions are just ridiculous in price, and I don't know how anybody affords it. I was playing Plants vs Zombies recently, Garden Warfare, and to play the game, it's pretty much whatever the game costs, but there's microtransactions within the game. You got to pay for seeds within the game, and they give you kind of boosts to better your character and to progress. And it's getting kind of ridiculous with these microtransactions. It really is. It's the cost of everything. You pay for a game, you expect to have the whole game, and then they want you to pay for all these additional things, which should have been released in the game in the first place. So it's kind of ridiculous. And now with this Star Wars game coming out, it's crazy. I was checking online earlier, and on Origin, let me see if I could pull it up right now. But I believe it was over $120 to get some of the expansions for it. Now, I don't know about you, but I do not have $120 to spend on the game. Just for, extra perks, skins, anything to enhance your character. I think it's kind of ridiculous. It's a lot of money, and there's more things you can spend your money on. So I noticed with the Star Wars game, Battlefront, the new one that's coming out, $59.99 the price of the game. You pay $10 extra, and basically all you get is a few new guns. That's it, really. So you don't really get too much. And then, if you want to get the deluxe edition, which is more than $10 more, it's $120. You get a few more things, a few different guns, some weapons, a grenade, and early access, which doesn't really tell you what's on the early access, just says that you get early access for $120, which is pretty ridiculous. So I don't know what's going on, but all these games with these microtransactions, it's making things really ridiculous. And if you just buy a game, I expect to get the whole game. I wouldn't mind paying $10 or $20 more if I get what I pay for and get a good game. It's like Counter-Strike. They're making so much money off their microtransactions. And the Steam Workshop, some of these skins you see on Counter-Strike, going up for $1,000, $2,000. It's ridiculous. And people are willing to pay it. So that's goes without saying. If people are willing to pay for all this stuff that you get, even though it's ridiculous, you're basically you have the same stats. Like in Counter-Strike, you get the same gun, same exact thing, same stats, same everything. You're only paying for a skin, which just affects how your gun looks. And people are paying hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, which just blows my mind, and it doesn't even affect gameplay or anything. It's crazy, but a lot of things I think, skins are kind of cool. A lot of games don't have that. They should just make it part of the game instead of doing all these microtransactions with people and trying to basically rip people off and get as much money as they can. But people are willing to pay it, so they're gonna continue to do it. So, and the other thing too, okay, kind of going off on a rant here, but DLC is getting ridiculous for games. Some of these games they release the game, like Witcher, for instance. They released Witcher, and then a couple months later they got DLC. An expansion. Hearts of Stone, I guess, is the newest one. That's $10. But my take on it is, you release a game, and there's so much in the game, especially a game like Witcher, you could have hundreds of hours in a game like that, and they release DLC. Well, why didn't you just include it in the game in the first place? So I really don't get that. Why people people pay for something. And if you haven't even beat the whole game to begin with, why would you pay extra money just to get some DLC? So I don't know. I think it's kind of getting ridiculous, you know. Um, and there's a couple other games too. It's the same kind of thing, you know. They release the game. All right, you get the game, but you want anything extra? You want any kind of perks? You got to pay for it. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Hopefully, you know, some of these bigger companies will change things. Probably not. You know, it's a cash grab. People are willing to pay money for these microtransactions, so it's not gonna stop anytime soon. But we as the consumers, you know, if we stop promoting this and stop buying these ridiculous things, then maybe they'll stop away with that. You know, if people refuse to pay, you know, $10 more for basically, you know, a couple guns, a grenade, and a few things for their game, you know, or 20, you know, some of the prices are ridiculous. So we'll see what lies in the future, but hopefully, you know, it'll go back how it used to be in the day where you pay a game, you know. It was a good game, you got a lot of gameplay out of it. No DLC, you know, no anything like that. You basically pay for what you got, and I don't know. Hopefully it'll come around and things will go like that. But anyways, guys, just let me know what you think. Feel free to leave it in comments down below, and I'll catch you guys on the next message. So talk to you guys later.